Well, this week we're going to start out with Brian Herron up in northern Missouri. He's got his bow in his hand and he encounters a stallion.
Son, what is the deal with this guy and these big bucks he keeps coming across?
We're just going to have to rub on him a little bit when we see him because I'm ready for some of that luck.
When's he going to give us that golden ticket to go up there and hunt where he's hunting?
I don't know. We're going to have to sit him down, aren't we? We're going to have to sit him down and have a chat with him. But I tell you what, I think you're going to like what you're about to see. And then we're going to follow it up with a hunt with my wife, Rachel Lucas, in Missouri. And Terry and I will be hunting here in Missouri as well.
Good morning, folks. October the 22nd. Cold, crisp morning. Setting up on a ridge field. Perfect spot for a rut. Heard a couple bucks fighting this morning. Just before light. I think it's going to be a good morning. This is another stand that we set in August. We usually try and get all our stands set in early August. Get that out of the way so we can just come in and hunt. But it should be a good morning. Haven't seen a deer yet, but oh my God, there's a giant. There's a giant.
Well, you know, Brian, he's not up there no time. Matter of fact, he's just trying to do an opener for the show and for that episode, and this monster just shows up.
That happens sometimes. Those big ones can sneak in on you. I don't know how they do it.
I don't know either, and I don't know why they always sneak in on him. Now this big buck comes out, and Brian's a nervous wreck, and he throws everything at him.
I'd be a nervous wreck too, wouldn't you?
I ain't never seen horns like that in the wild, I don't think. Maybe behind a high fence or something. But I'm here to tell you, this is free range whitetail. He's trying to film himself. The nerves are in, and he's throwing everything at this deer. Let's see what he does.
There is something new in the air. The Scud in-flight scent dispenser is designed to help you create a scent trail for the game of your choice without ever leaving your position. The Scud works with any and all of your favorite scents and lures. Just load it up and you are ready to go. The Scud leaves a vapor scent trail back to your position up to 100 yards away. Every situation may not call for a Scud, but sooner or later, you will wish you had one. The Scud in-flight scent dispenser, online at scudshooter.com.
To get where you want to be in life, as a man, as a dad, as a hunter, you will carry some heavy loads, and through them we realize that virtues like strength and reliability matter most. From ourselves and our gear. Ultimately, what matters is not the weight of the load, but how we carry it. Alps Outdoors.
Final Step cover scent. The only one on the market that I know of that's 100% all natural. Here in Missouri, we like the cedar scent. They got several scents to pick from. If you like to hunt, trap, you name it, this is the stuff to have. When we run trap lines, we spray everything down with this. It smells just like cedar. It's unbelievable. 100% natural. When we go to the tree stand, we spray it on. We spray it on when we get in the tree. It's like we were never there. We get ground blinds. We spray it on the blinds before we go in. It's like we were never there. This stuff is absolutely amazing. Final Step cover scent. 100% all natural. If you want to bring home bone like this, you better make Final Step your last step in your scent elimination system. Well, as you can see, this buck trotted into his life, and it trotted out just the same. He's going to remember this one for a while.
Folks, that was a monster. I'm shaking so bad. It's one of the biggest bucks I think I've ever seen in the woods. He was a giant. I tried calling him, but he's not responding. I rattled a little bit. We'll see if he comes back in. That's why we're out here. Get your heart pumping like that. Stay tuned, folks. Hope we kill this big boy.
Well, now we're out in Missouri on a farm that we have, and my wife Rachel loves to hunt, but unfortunately with all our kids and working, she doesn't get much time. Usually she might get one morning and maybe one evening a year to hunt, but normally she scores when she goes out with me. And this day we're sitting high in a big tree and we've got action. We got bucks grunting and running up on the ridges chasing deer. This is something I think they're going to like.
Hey guys, we're out here this morning. It's Missouri gun season. It's a cold morning, and so far it's turned out real good. We've saw one deer already this morning, and we're ready to get going. So let's see what we're gonna get. I'm out here hunting for outdoor vigilantes, and I'm hoping to really score a good one today.
Easy, easy, easy. Coming off the hill, gonna come out the road. Don't be moving around. I see him up on that ridge. They won't come on down here though. Easy, baby, Well, my wife's nerves are about shot. We've had these deer running up and down this ridge. We're up on kind of where it's a flat. We're started up on the other side, and there's a ridge out in front of us, and these deer, it's just a thicket. And they're running back and forth, and she's getting nervous. And finally, I thought, I've got to call to these deer. So I start calling, and I grunt a few times, and we hear one trot. Here he comes. He's trotting down the hill. Well, now this deer's coming down off the ridge, and we're not sure quite yet which one it is. We heard several up there. Couldn't tell if it was a buck or a doe, but my wife could only hunt until noon, and that was the only day she's going to have to hunt. So she told me whatever it was that presented the opportunity, she was going to be blessed to take it. So this little buck comes down the hill, and she decides it's a go. Just dropped him right there.
Oh my gosh. I saw him fall though. And what he was doing is he was standing there.
He was standing there.
He was standing there.
Hey.
And then he just fell and I saw his feet come up in the air. Yeah. One down for outdoor vigilantes.
There is something new in the air. The Scud in-flight scent dispenser is designed to help you create a scent trail for the game of your choice without ever leaving your position. The Scud works with any and all of your favorite scents and lures. Just load it up and you are ready to go. The Scud leaves a vapor scent trail back to your position up to 100 yards away. Every situation may not call for a Scud, but sooner or later you will wish you had one. The Scud in-flight scent dispenser, online at scudshooter.com.
I started this mineral lick about a year and a half ago with just OV mineral, and just starting this out in the middle of a pasture where I know big bucks frequent. The does cross here. It's a natural crossing. They come out here, they're not scared. It's kind of a safe area for them. They've got CRP all around them, and as you can see with this mineral site how much this has helped the deer, but not only helped me locate where the deer are coming from, where they're going to, and that's only going to equal success in the future.
Absolutely. Now this is an amazing mineral site. It's dug out 3 foot by 6 foot deep, and you know, I'm looking at this thinking, how do I get one like that? You know, so if any of you guys want to know how to do this, how did you start this hole?
Well, I got with our host Kody Lucas. He created this mineral with not just killing in mind, but actually the health of the herd. He wanted something that was going to help all aspects of hunting. So he gave me this. He said, try this out. This is my own mixture. It's in the testing phase. So, you know what? I'll give it a try. And here we are a year later. This is going to be our 3rd or 4th application in this hole. And a year and a half later, we have this big of a hole. We have numerous pictures of big bucks, does, fawns. Every deer in the area is coming to this lake.
And this is an exciting time of the year because this is when we really get to see these bucks. They love coming to these licks, especially early. You know, before September, they'll just come in there and nail it, especially with their antlers growing. And you'll see them in velvet. You'll get all these velvet picks of these awesome bucks. And it's important to have this out all year round as well.
To get where you want to be in life, as a man, as a dad, as a hunter, you will carry some heavy loads, and through them we realize that virtues like strength and reliability matter most, from ourselves and our gear. Ultimately, what matters is not the weight of the load, but how we carry it. Alps Outdoors.
Well, my wife makes a good shot on this little buck, as you can tell, and he runs up the ridge, and we hear him pile up there. She decides that she wants to stay put for a little while because it's still early and she's got some doe tags to fill. Now, it's not long, and I hear something, and I look off to my left, and I'm on the back side of the same tree she is, running a camera. And these two little fawns come out. I say fawns, they're little yearlings. They come out to feed right down below us. And I get her attention, and she couldn't bring herself to put it on them little does, even though she said she was going to take whatever she could get.
Doesn't want to shoot little Bambi, does she?
No, she wasn't going to have nothing to do with that. So she elected to let them go. So we got a little footage of them feeding there, and we let them leave. Well, after these does leave, the wife and I decide to get down and go recover her buck.
Did you see the shot she put on that thing, son? You better mind your P's and Q's, I tell you what.
Well, I would like to say she had a good teacher, but I don't think I was thinking when I taught her how to shoot like that. Took her down to shooting range, she outshot all three of us. Well, we go up the top of the ridge. This little buck just run right up. He was in a draw. He just run up top of the ridge and made it up there, had piled up. And we get up there, and she was as tickled as she could be.
Well, everyone, here he is. We ended up sitting in this tree stand for a little bit longer, waiting to see if I could fill my doe tag after we shot him. I made a real good shot. He didn't run far. We heard him come up here, fall over, and pile up on us. So we knew we didn't have nothing to worry about. He wound up being a 3-pointer, which is great. Really enjoyed it. It's been a great morning. We sat in our tree stand, ended up seeing a mama and her 2 babies come in, and elected not to shoot them, let them walk. Decided to finally get out and come get him. It's been a great morning, though. I've only got 1 day to hunt today, and I took advantage of it and was able to get me a deer, so I'm glad. Lots of yummins on the table. Oh, how exciting. This is wonderful.
Well, folks, we're back here in Missouri. This time it's Terry and I. We're hunting a farm that we have here locally, and it is extremely cold. I mean, extremely cold. Probably one of the coldest mornings I think I've ever hunted.
There was frost everywhere that morning. Seems like everything was froze up. The camera wasn't wanting to cooperate and work too good with us, and
you know it's cold.
It was new kind of cold that morning.
You know it's cold when the old cameras aren't wanting to work. Well, Terry and I had been watching these deer cross this power line, and we decided to go old school and slide in and hunt off some stools, some folding chairs, off the ground, try to blend in and hide and see if we couldn't pull it off old school.
Well, we were trying to move in close on these deer. We'd seen them from a distance, like you said, and we were wanting to move in and kind of get them in archery range. I know it was with a rifle and everything, but it makes for a lot better footage when you can get close to these deer.
If you can get up close and personable, it makes it all worth it. we're not there no time, and I've got frost all over my rifle, frost all over my scope. I'm so cold that I'm miserable, and I'm dressed for it because I know it's supposed to be cold. Now Terry, I don't know, he can take it. He can go out in his long johns, I think. He doesn't get cold. I freeze to death. So I'm bundled up like an abominable snowman, and it's not long, and we hear some footsteps. Now we hear this deer getting closer. There's no doubt it's a deer. Terry says to me, "You hear it? It's coming." I said, "I'm ready." And we'd already talked that morning about we were going to take whatever we could get because we'd hunted hard and hadn't fired around. And it was time to kind of get the old monkey off our back, as they say, and get us a kill on film.
Well, we were sitting there getting ourselves all worked up, just knowing it was that old buck coming out there.
We'd been seeing a good one, and I just had that feeling that was him. Well, this great big doe decides to make her presence. And what was she? How far was she from us?
She was only about 45, 50 yards maybe.
If that. She was on top of us. And she spots me sitting there in that stool, you can tell, for just a second. But then she made the lethal mistake of deciding to walk on out there in that power line.
Well, folks, I want you to watch real close when Kody pulls the trigger on this big old doe.
That 270 Winchester short magnum does a number, doesn't it? Whew. Folks, it's like 20 degrees out here this morning. We're hunting whitetails here in Missouri. I've got ice forming on my scope. I've got some of your flip-up caps. I've been trying to keep my back one down because where my breast's at, it's just making ice crystals. We had a good battery in the camera. It just zapped it. The cold's just killing everything and working against us. We knew this was a good cross, and we've been seeing deer cross. So we got up here and set up. There's a good buck running through here. And we could tell this was just a single deer coming through. And I elected to go ahead and take that doe for some meat. Now we're going to settle in here and see if we can't get us a buck. Stick with us if we can bear the cold. Well, after I shoot this big doe, it's not long, and before we can even get up from our chairs, we hear another one coming.
I just thought it was that big buck running her out there.
I did too. I thought, oh, I cannot believe that gun didn't scare him. Here he comes, and it's going to happen.
Yep.
But as you can see, it wasn't Mr. Big. We decided to let this little deer walk and go do the recovery of the big doe that we decided to take. There she is, man. That's a big doe, buddy. That's a big doe. That'll be some good victuals right there. That is unbelievable. I don't know what she'd weigh, but that is the biggest doe I've killed in this area, bar none. That thing is huge. Be a lot of good eating on that one. Wow. What a doe. We took the right one out of the herd today. Vigilante style. Gonna get some victuals. Get her back, get her cleaned up. Get her cut up and put away and see if we can't get old Big Daddy later. We still got some days ahead of us. I got a feeling we're gonna score on some big old set of horns, I'm hoping. Notice how I reach out here. I don't want none of these out here. Got this out of my system now, I'm ready. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode as much as we did bringing it to you. I had a lot of fun, didn't you?
A lot of fun. It's always a lot of fun to go out there and bring the outdoors to you folks at home.
We like to mix it up a little bit for you like we did this week with Brian Herron's big buck action. He gets really wound up, and then he gets sick at the same time.
Yep, we got to see your wife.
Shot her little buck, and I got me an old doe for the freezer. I don't think it gets much better than that.
Can't beat that.
Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Tune in with us next week. But while you're waiting, check us out at www.outdoorvigilantes.com.
And go give us a like on Facebook.
Go check us out, folks. We'll see you next week.
I'm an outdoor vigilante. Way out back, down where the river flows, putting in time, miles walking, hunting them down. Son, don't you know? I'm up before dawn, I put my camo on, and I'll be hitting in the wind just to ride. High in my stand with my bow in my hand, just waiting on a camera light. I've been working all summer, hanging cams, hanging stands, and now the fun begins. Here he comes now, the big 10 with split brows, and I'm praying that he turns just right. With any kind of luck, he'll get a ride in my truck, and I'll take him back to camp tonight. We put him on the ground, make him famous all around, and bring the action straight to you. We'll hang him up high, celebrate with high fives. It's the love of what we do.